Tell me about your vision.
My vision, okay. A vision always starts with a dream, right?
Mm.
And your dream changes all the time. So I'm at a point of my life where my vision is constantly changing with me, right?
Yes.
Just to give it an idea, I'm 33 years old. My background comes from I moved from the Philippines to the United States, not not recently, but not long enough to call myself very adjusted to my work environment, the culture, and everything. So, coming from the Philippines, moving here, third world country, first world country, it definitely changed my landscape and my vision and my horizon. So,
Wow.
my vision, for to be honest with you, it's on the works.
I
It's
love it.
on the works, and it's not clear yet, but it's like building Legos. But this time, I allowed myself to keep building without a big picture yet. So I'm
Huge.
letting myself build it as my problems come, as my challenges come. And that is about being a single mom, being an immigrant, being a woman in the construction industry, and also in the middle of career pathing. So that is my vision, and it is in the works.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay,
Yeah.
so if I could give you the award right now through the screen of the most authentic vision that we've probably ever had, I might give that to you. Like, oh my
Thank
gosh,
you.
that was so awesome. And I wanna highlight some of the pieces that you talked about that for all you
Mhm.
visions out there listening, understand one, I mean, could you get more authentic and raw and real than what Trish just did? And I'm gonna pull up your name in here as well because as a business development executive at Pro Engineering Consulting and understanding the value of architecture, construction, and connecting strong relationships, the things that you talked about behind the scenes with me, it is so easy to see how your trajectory for your vision is like on point. But you brought up something that most people aren't self-aware enough to realize, and that is our vision. If we begin with the vision in mind, right, I can see the horizon of the farm across the street from me, right? But I
Exactly.
don't know what's beyond it. So until I get to that hilltop, I don't know if I'm going to turn right, turn left, or go straight.
Yes.
And so you're in the same thing that an 80-year-old and a 90-year-old
Mhm.
and an 8 and a 9-year-old are also in. That's life. But you're
Yes,
you're
it is.
crushing it and what you're up to. And then I hear that you're a single mom, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like one I would never have known that you immigrated from Philippines, not because they can't tell you're Filipino, but because your American accent and your connection to the culture, the amount of dedication you've put into adapting and to
Mhm.
recognizing the opportunity to most
Mhm.
likely value both cultures is
Mhm.
absolutely incredible. And I'm a single father of four. You probably don't know that. So there's like I know I know a little bit about your journey and the path and what it is you're up to, and to have the knowledge you have around business and engineering and construction, all of that, it's just my hat is absolutely off to you. So let me let you continue on that. You know, instead, normally I would ask you something like, "What's the story?" or
Yeah.
"Where you going with the vision?" Mm-mm. Based on all that I said, what else do you want to contribute to the visionary leaders that are listening in who are also on this path of figuring it out, just like you and I?
It takes a lot of, visionary leaders. I think, I can speak for them, or at least from my perspective, that we're very hard on ourselves because we're leaders, and I'm speaking out of not technicality, but I'm speaking out of the subjectivity of your emotions, your mental state. It takes a lot of humility to just admit, hey, you know, I'm all of these. I know engineering, I know architecture. Where am I headed? And why is life like this for me? I don't have any direction. I'm more than capable of what I'm doing right now, but I don't seem to feel fulfillment. And sometimes, and not sometimes, I want to say it is very, very important that you take a deep breath, sit down, and just say, hey, there is no problem. I'm at a point in my life where I'm in the waiting, probably. I'm in the sailing part where I need to take a pause and pick up little lessons along the way that actually contributes to my whole being, not just a career woman or a career man, my profession. And I think the transformative years is a very, very important aspect of the professional life that we professionals need to put attention, because that's what makes us burnt out. We don't see that when we transition from one role to another, that also transforms or changes our tasks, and not just that, our dynamics from getting home from work, the people around us, that takes a lot of emotions out of it, responsibilities. The transitions are important to pick up and pay attention to, because those are the details that we leave out.
I love it. I love
And
it. And I love that
pauses,
you talked. Go ahead.
and the pauses are very important, because that's when we get to reflect on, am I happy with the transition I'm doing?
Mhm.
From the transition that is happening, is this something that I controlled, that was brought about by somebody else, by a situation, a circumstance? And then from there, you can actually adjust yourself. If this is something that I can control, okay, what can I actually change? If this is not something brought about by myself, how can I adjust to it? How can I kind of um, contribute more so that I can adjust a little bit more and adapt to it more? And most visionaries were very creative. We're overthinkers, we
Yep.
want to, as much as that we can, control the
Shiny
narrative.
ball. Where? Yes, that's
Yes,
us.
we want to control the narrative because we want to get to the success where we are. But if we don't pause and respect the transition that we're having every moment of our lives, and those are milestones, not in the career, honestly, it's where life takes you. When
Yeah,
one moves to another city, when one has a breakup, it
right.
changes you. When one gives birth and becomes a parent, when one loses, a family
Yeah.
divorce or a death in the family, those are changes, and those changes are vision.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much value that I can extract. I can tell that we can go for hours, and I want to. So I want to invite you back to Vision Pros. We'd love to have you back. One of the things that you mentioned was transformative years, and what it made me think of was 47-year-old Tom Brady, and how
Mm,
just a few years ago he had
mhm,
his
mhm.
transformative years to moving from constant Super Bowl winner to now announcing and
Yes.
being an analyst as a reporter for the Super Bowl. And it also made me think of a client I love very dearly. Her name is Sharon Rolfe, and she runs Effortless Vitality. Well, I guess I do now. I'm CEO, but Effortless Vitality. She started that brand at 73 years old. She's 77 now.
Exactly.
Like, come on now. I mean, you can always be in your transformative years,
Yes.
reimagining, recreating, building new things. So we're gonna bring Trish back if she's willing to come back. We'd love to
Yeah,
have you.
I would love to. I would love to. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Well, you guys can, of course, look up Trish Flores on Google. And we'll also, of course, share the social media links with the posts that we do. And in addition to that, you've got the website, proengc.com. That's for Pro Engineering Consulting, one of her initiatives currently. But definitely, I look forward to following Trish's process of growing as a leader, because you got some serious leadership skills, Trish. And Vision Pros,
Thank
we
you.
will see you guys on the next episode. Take care, everybody. Thank you for being here today. I'm really happy that you tuned in to Vision Pros Live. I'm looking forward to seeing your reactions as these episodes continue to move forward. This is going to get more and more fun. We'll have more and more engagement as well. We'll invite people to participate in the show. And thank you for giving us your time and attention. Have an excellent time building out your vision and becoming a Vision Pro yourself. Woo!
Oh my gosh.
Well done.
Thank you.
You happy with the episode?
Yeah, I'm very happy. I mean,
Awesome.
I hope that, whatever I shared, because honestly, I'm not a leader that is tenured and seasoned to talk about, how to deal with 5, 10, 20 people. I'm at a place in my life that's where I am at. My vision is in the works, and I'm figuring it out daily.
Out of 8 billion people in the world, what percentage of them do you think are at your stage of leadership or have less experience with leadership?
I think it would be a lot. I don't know on the
I would
numbers.
bet it's probably more than 96% of the world
Yeah.
relates to your story better than any Bill Gates or
Mm-hmm.
Warren Buffett that's out there. So what you shared was golden, and I hope you never take that away from yourself, because you
Thank
are doing a
you.
great job on your leadership. So,
Yes.
is there anything that you'd like us to see do better in the preparation process and the whole experience and the vision of the show? I want to caveat that with I didn't name my brand First Class Business on accident. We don't do second class service. We love evaluating, we love change, we love optimizing. So is there anything else that, other than the obvious fiascos in the beginning of me not
Oh,
having
you're
that
good.
path prepared and being like 2 minutes late? Those are big. I need to for sure button those up. But is there anything else that you've experienced in podcasting or would like to experience? Like, Jackson, here's some ideas for you.
Honestly, there's none. I love the authenticity that you have too. I actually respond to that really quickly if someone is being authentic or doing this for business. I love the branding. I would say that it can intimidate some people, but I love the branding. Yeah,
So can
that's
you
all
talk
I
to me
have.
about that? About the intimidation factor. I mean, I get one concept of it, but I find that perspectives, right? When we just look at
Yeah.
one side, we don't always get the full idea of what it means. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
When I say intimidating, it's not a negative word. It's
Right.
more like, oh, I have to really prepare. So
Ah,
I love that because it sets the tone on respecting the brand, respecting what do I have to put, or what do I have to offer to them. I don't want to just blabber. And there are podcasts where they just dive right on, and I'm like, I don't know what to talk about. But the branding itself speaks for itself. Although when you go inside, there's this authenticity and a lot of kind of like an open book, like you can talk about. Maybe, one thing, maybe you can have a touch base with your guest that, hey, I want to know more about this, or question with the one question that I really like pre-interview with one of the podcasts that I did was what's something that you want to share that's unique to you that people cannot see in any of your social media, that is a
wow.
pivotal moment for you or something of significance to you. I think that would be a great question. That way you can really tap and begin to, unravel the story of what is this person made of, her
I love
values,
that.
her roots. Because, podcasts is good because people think that they live a very, like, I'm the only one with this problem, I'm the only one with this struggle, I'm the only one with this responsibility, and then they get surprised that a billion people relates to them.
That's so cool. And
Yeah.
that's such a neat question. So, we get a lot of recommendations because we are constantly asking. And that is one of the truly special recommendations. And whoever that host is did a phenomenal job of either modeling somebody else or coming up with some golden nugget, because there's so many speakers who want to say something on stage and never have, and that they've never been given the permission, and they've
Yeah.
never given themselves permission either to talk about it. And that's the question to ask
To
to get
ask.
that
Yeah.
box opened. So
Yes,
cool.
because
That was awesome.
I think that, in the AI world, technology, and I say this all the time with business development and sales, you can do everything now, Zoom, all the platforms, Skype, all that stuff, and it becomes, no personal touch.
Yeah.
And I think that in technology, we always have to find a way to make it personal. And I
Oh yeah.
believe, I root in that,
Me too.
knowing someone genuinely asking questions,
Yeah.
what are you all about? And that actually gives me good sales.
Huge, right? For sure.
Yeah.
It's also very helpful to be dynamic, right? That's the more you give, the more you get. I've been
Yes.
fortunate. I've worked from home since 2010. And
Oh,
so as
wow.
a work from home, like stay at home dad, and when I had my kids full time, I'm twice divorced. Learned some difficult lessons about relationships along the way. But there's so much truth to the technology is not the problem with the relationship unless we make it the problem. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
can be true, but it doesn't have to be. And I would love to invite you as well, if you're open to it. I'd love to invite you to be on one of our other shows.
Okay.
And that show is called Opportunities for Filipinos.
Okay.
Um, and so I've got a great team in the Philippines that they are currently in host transition. So we've got two brand new hosts that are in training right now, and they're
Wow.
going to be doing their first podcast interviews hopefully within the next few weeks. What I want to make sure happens is that they get that experience with leaders who are loving and supportive and kind and appreciative, because it's, you know, how nerve wracking it is to do this, you
Yeah.
know, and um, they're going to be awesome at what they do. But it's always helpful when I find leaders who are highly nurturing and relatable. So
This podcast is always going to be a very special one to me, very memorable because first, you're a single dad yourself, and I just 4 kids. I have one, and I'm already losing my marbles here and there. So you're doing a great job, and never ever doubt that you are sufficient at what you do. And I agree with you. Working from home, we got to make it work because I do the same thing. I work remotely, but I travel. But that's what makes it work. And I'm just, people probably did not like what happened with the COVID and all that stuff, but it allowed me to have a lot of space and a
yep,
lot of flexibility to care for my family, care for my child. And number two, you have a special place in your heart for Filipinos. And I love that because I'm from Philippines. I love my country, and all the more when I left my country is when it's just like when people ask me where are you? Oh, if I can shout Philippines, I will. And thank you for creating opportunities for them. Filipinos are great with people. We're excellent
sure.
speakers. We're excellent communicators, and we just if your podcast is pegged on love, we have the most love in the world.
All right. For sure. I've been fortunate to work with a lot of great teams from the Philippines, and our little team is expanding rapidly over there. If you're okay with it, I'd be happy to share a few minutes of my vision, but I don't want to eat into your time. I know you've probably got other appointments coming up. So,
I have time. I reserve a slot on my calendar for an hour and a half because
oh,
usually
nice.
some of the podcasts run long and then some are,
Mhm.
I have the briefing and I also kind of take a pause and then because, there's a lot of speaking and then I take 30 minutes to before I go back to,
Yep.
my emails and all that stuff. So we have some.
I can do 5 minutes. So I'll keep it brief. That way you have that. And yes, one thing I added to my calendar um, about 4 months ago, I asked my assistant from the Philippines. I said, "Hey, I want to change my schedule now to where between every meeting that I have, I've got 30 minutes of prayer and meditation." Um,
Mhm.
and so it's been such a game changer for us. It's helped us progress a ton
Yes.
just to have that extra space of
Oh, yes.
specifically like prayer, meditation, and rest. Like those three things in between the meetings. I didn't, I was like, permission for yourself. It's like, okay, doing that before in the morning and nights, dinners and all that, cool. But during the workday, I'm supposed to be working. No, no, no. That was like the best move ever. So
Yes.
it was really helpful.
Oh,
So
yes.
my vision is to bridge the economic gap between North America, South America, and the rest of the world. And we have a very strong Latino team as well. I speak Spanish fluently, and so they have helped me pave the way for the last 14 years. We've been working on building this up. It was very slow for the first 13 years,
Mhm.
extremely grinding process. And to honor your vision a little bit, my mom got to a point where she said, "You're delusional. Go get a real job. You need to do this or that or the other." And I remember finally feeling like maybe I am delusional. Like maybe I'm not going to be able to pull this stuff. That maybe
Mhm.
I am spread too thin. And then about 2 years ago, it was 2 or 3 years. I can't remember which now. Time runs together, but I think it was 2 years ago in January. My team took some of my programs for Christmas and they finished building out those programs. And it was like watching all of the streets of a city come together
Mm-hmm.
and realizing, oh my gosh, like we're building something far big. Everything connects. Everything that I was doing independently, where people were saying, why don't you just, focus on the one thing, Jackson, read the one thing by Gary Keller. And so many people were trying to push that narrative and that initiative. And I was thinking of one of my superhero favorites, LeBron James, and how a reporter many years ago, because of his political views, said, why don't you just shut up and dribble? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
your voice doesn't. Well, that reporter's career is now in the tank. Anybody, I'm sure they're doing well with their own niche, but um, what a horrible legacy to be remembered for, right? To tell somebody to go do one thing, and here's a man who has over 100 companies while being one of the best basketball players in the world. And so that and Richard Branson both inspired me that you can have your cake, you can eat it too, and you can have a conveyor belt of cakes. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's a matter of what limitations do you set on yourself. And so
Right.
the Philippines program is very close to launching with the same type of let's see here, of interface that the Spanish team's podcast and process flows with. Um, and they don't quite have this page set up yet for their
Mm-hmm.
podcast and their guests. And these are my two co-hosts for the Latino show. But bringing this together and making this happen and creating a space where Latinos can come in for free, just like the in the Philippines, and it takes them to a Facebook academy, a guide through Facebook where they can then learn how to become virtual assistants, how
I
to
love.
how to lead with
Yes.
authenticity, how to attract influencers,
Mm-hmm.
how to present themselves and celebrate their victories, and then they go into an appointment where we also help them become what we call digital ambassadors. And as they become digital ambassadors, they learn how to represent brands, and they go through a 12-day full-time intensive leadership academy. And if they need to slow play that, that's fine. It's all free for them. They can do it over, but it's literally 11 to 12 days of fully intense leadership skills and
Mm-hmm.
listening, how to understand people, and what types of characteristics to look for in companies you might want to represent or work with. And then they go through a 90-day program of being able to implement what's really 78 days more of being able to implement all the things that they learned on a continual basis, and then
Mm-hmm.
get certified or receive a diploma from the university, or sorry, the Academy of First Class Businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Either find their own jobs, or throughout the process, if we see people that are loving, patient, persistent, consistent, and reliable,
Right.
and we recognize that there's somebody that we want a scholarship in, we end up hiring them during the process and basically providing what you'd call a scholarship, right, to finish
Mm-hmm.
the process and program, and then come work with us if they have that talent. So that's the that's where we've gotten to with the vision and where we're going with it. I'll be in Puerto Rico next month, doing what I just did down in Panama, and then I'll be in Colombia in May, expanding this. And then I'm hoping that we're going to go back to Colombia in September. But we're in November, we plan on going to Africa for one of the water projects. But it's possible in um, October or December, I make some time to finally get out to the Philippines.
Oh
Um,
yay! Oh my gosh, I am so jealous. I want to go home, but yeah.
they're down in I can't ever pronounce it right. Zamboanga, Sam
Sambuanga.
Zamboanga. Thank you. That one.
Zambuanga,
So
yes.
yeah, we've mapped out the trip. Thank you, ChatGPT. I couldn't do any of this without AI. Uh,
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, yes.
it planned the whole thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. Okay, so I'll be in South Korea. I'll be in Taiwan. I'll be in 3 different cities within the Philippines when I go on that trip. And I know the budgets. I know everything about it. Why? Because AI plans things like this for
Yeah,
you. This is
that's
so
great. And I hope please bring mosquito repellent. Um, don't drink water everywhere. But eat the food.
yeah. Enjoy the food.
Eat the
Very
food,
cool.
enjoy the food, enjoy the beach. Zamboanga has one of like I think they have like the pink sand. I've never been,
Oh,
but
Pink
I've
Sand Beach.
yeah,
Whoa.
we have beaches there too. We have beaches everywhere because
Yeah.
we're basically like spread out islands. Just
Yep.
asking, well, where is the nearest beach? You probably have to, kind of travel on land. Quite, will hurt your butt probably for the road trip, but it's worth it. It's beautiful, and I hope you have a great time.
Thank you.
I'm sold with your vision. First, because I have a very I've been looking for something to give, where to give. I'm a very spiritual person as well. Every birthday that I have, ever since I got here, I would work with Project 150, celebrate my birthday, ask my friends, hey, come volunteer with me. This is your birthday gift to me, your time. So I'm sold. It's opportunities for Filipino, whether you have me as a guest or let me know how I can help.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll introduce you to Jessime. She
Okay.
runs the team in the Philippines, and then y'all can coordinate based on that and based on other needs. If you're ever looking for help with growth, if you're ever looking for virtual assistants too, and exploring how to build whatever you may be building, whether it's with the engineering company or with your own ventures, we're always
Mhm.
here. I'm a big believer in not selling actually. So I'm. Have you ever been? You go to Costco or Sam's Club? What's your style?
I tried both. I do like Costco more.
So you know how you walk in, right, to these stores, and you walk past that technology section, and
Mhm.
there's people there that are trying to sell. And I usually, I don't go like this,
I was
but
like,
I find a way
I
to
want to go to the
avoid
samplers.
being sold to. Exactly, right? So we don't like to be sold to as human beings, but everybody goes to Costco and Sam's Club almost always walks out with something they didn't intend to.
Yes.
And that's because we love to buy. But we
Mm-hmm.
love to buy according to our own desires and our own
Exactly.
ability to explore. And so JW Marriott does an excellent job of that too, where it doesn't matter if you're a guest in the presidential suite or you're in one of the cheapest rooms possible, or you're a guest or a visitor who is sneaking into
Yeah,
the pool. They're going to honor all those individuals as best they can. And
exactly.
so my team is also like, again, they train on that concept of
Yes.
give people the space to
Yes.
really see and feel what this is like.
My biggest pet peeve when I'm shopping is keep being asked like, do you need help? And then the second time around, hey, do you need help? And then show me this, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to shop anymore because I'm
Exactly.
exploring. I think I'm a type of person, or I'm like
Yeah.
bold enough to actually approach and ask, hey, I need help. I
Yeah.
don't know this. Can you tell me more about this? And, you know, information is available to people now. So
Yeah.
sometimes giving that respect to a client or customer goes a long way. Like,
For
what do
sure.
you know? Getting to know them. Selling is not the goal. The goal is to get to know their needs.
Thank you for being here today. I'm really happy that you tuned in to Vision Pros Live. I'm looking forward to seeing your reactions as these episodes continue to move forward. This is going to get more and more fun. We'll have more and more engagement as well. We'll invite people to participate in the show. And thank you for giving us your time and attention. Have an excellent time building out your vision and becoming a vision pro yourself.